So, good morning, one and all attending this program today on this virtual platform of the BA 4th semester compulsory English online classes 2021-22 prescribed in Rashtrasant Tukdoji Maharaj Nagpur University syllabus. This is a joint venture by the Department of English of Barrister Sheshrao Wankhede Mahavidyalaya Mohpa, Dr. M.K. Umathe College Nagpur, Nabira Mahavidyalaya Katol, and Jawaharlal Nehru Arts, Commerce and Science College, Wadi, Nagpur. I extend my warm regards and sincere gratitude to respected principals of all the organizing four colleges, respected M.V. Kulhe sir, Honorable Dr. D.V. Naik sir, respected Dr. S.K. Naveen sir, and respected Dr. Mrs. K.S. Borkar madam. Chief coordinator of this 14 days online program, Honorable Dr. Ajit Jachak sir, other coordinators, Dr. Vaishali Mishram madam, Dr. Pramod Salame sir, and Dr. Leena Fate madam. Respected faculty members from other colleges, the technical staff, and my dear students. On behalf of all the four organizing colleges, I, Dr. Rakesh Vasnik, once again welcome you all. Today, we are honored to have with us Dr. Parimal B. Dongre sir as a resource person, and he is going to deliver a session on the topic Vijay Bhatkar from Unit 2nd. And it is like an honor for me to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Parimal B. Dongre sir. He has been working as an HOD and associate professor in English in M.B. Patel Arts and Commerce College, Salekasa. He has long span of 15 years teaching experience in UG level and 2 years in post-graduation as well. He is awarded PhD for the topic Importance of Spiritual Intelligence in T.H. Han, Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, and Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. He has published 13 research papers in journals, 8 research papers in conferences and seminars. He has also presented 5 research papers in conferences and seminars. Couple of times he has been invited to deliver the lecture, the online lectures. In his credit, he has one chapter in an edited book. Also, he is carrying the major responsibility in his institution as an IQAC and NAC coordinator. And also, he has conducted 21 days workshop on rudiments of English at college level. Now, I request Dr. Parimal B. Dongre sir to start the session. Dongre sir.
Thank you, Vasnik sir. Respected organizers of this online lecture series, I extend my gratitude for giving me the opportunity to express my thoughts on this particular lesson. The topic on which today I am going to speak is the personality, and today I am going to deliver the lecture on Vijay Bhatkar. So dear students, and all those who are watching this lecture, before beginning the lecture, let me tell you one or two very important things which are very much concerned with these lessons. Whenever we are trying to understand the personality of any person, there are 3 fundamental things we must take into consideration. If we take these fundamental things into consideration, then it would be extremely helpful for us to go into the depth of that particular personality. So in my view, the three fundamental things are the thought process, motivation, and understanding our own path of development. Whenever we are trying to read any personality, we should try to grab those minor or pinpoints which are covered in that particular lesson, which tells us about the thought process or process of thinking of that personality, how that person is thinking. It is not an informative lecture. It is not literature is not about just providing information. There are so many multiple things which are going on in literature and language also. The second thing is motivation. We must be associated with the text that has been written in that particular chapter, and somehow we should feel motivated. If an author is able to ignite motivation in us, then it would be extremely helpful from the student's point of view. And the third thing is understanding our own path of development. We are not copycats, dear students. If we think from the existential point of view, we all are having our unique personality, and every other person, however great he or she may be, we should not try to copy him or her and try to devise our own path of development. So my request to all the dear students would be to try to understand this personality section from these three dimensions. If we look at the last 100 years, there are two major inventions which have changed the face of humanity. The first is quantum physics, which is very much related with the understanding of behavior of protons, electrons, and neutrons. It is a very great theory that I'm not going to speak on because we have to deal on my topic. But just 30 seconds, I would like to tell you that with the invention of quantum physics, the entire phase of spiritual chapters or spirituality has absolutely changed. We are in a better position to understand Buddha, Kabir, Nanak, Gorakh, and many more such spiritual giants. And the second thing, which is very much related with this chapter, is the computers. Imagine the day-to-day life we are living today without computers. Just think of those last 50 years. The life has changed so much, and this is because of the invention of computers, which later on continuously developed supercomputers and so on. So let us begin the chapter. So the title or the major personality about whom we are today discussing is Vijay Bhatkar. In this personality section, we would specifically try to understand what is his major contribution regarding, particularly in India. He was a son of educated parents born in 1946 in the Akola district of Maharashtra, which is very near to us. So this personality resides very near to us. He completed his engineering degree just when he was 18, and also completed his doctoral thesis in 26. So dear students, you can very much understand that if a person can complete his engineering degree at 18 and complete his PhD in 26, it is a clear-cut indicator that this personality has got enormous talent. Inborn, we can say that inborn genius kind of personality he was. He was one of the initiators of electronic revolution in India and acclaimed global leader in computing. Electronic revolution has changed the entire face of humanity. Due to this electronic revolution, the very thought process, the very behavioral pattern of human beings have totally changed, and it has made an enormous impact in the field of literature also. So dear students, one thing I just want to tell you that whenever anything new discovery or invention, whenever anything new happens, there are some fundamental things which are lying behind that invention, or we can say discoveries also. Vijay Bhatkar is known as architect of India's national initiatives in supercomputing. And the one thing that I have clearly mentioned, the thought process, the very first point I have started at the very beginning of this lecture, I have mentioned you that why he was able to develop so much uh, in the field of computer. The very igniting, the very inner drive that forced this personality was that USA denied to give supercomputers to India. When as a person, when you know that you are very much capable and someone or some other country is denying you to provide you the latest technology, then definitely your inner eye wants to take that challenge. And he was such a person who took that challenge and successfully completed the task, the needs that India needed at that time. Why? He's famous basically for two things. He developed the first Param 8000 supercomputer in 1991 in a record time of 3 years, and Param 10,000 in 1998. So whenever this Param 10,000 or Param 8,000 name comes, we act, we instantly recognize the name of, we instantly imagine, we instantly associate these supercomputers with Dr. Bhatkar. After that particular discovery, India was included in the exclusive club of selected nations possessing this technology. As a result of it, dear students, the ICT industry has reached 100 billion USD in 2010, making India as IT superpower. Dear students, we can imagine, we can use the faculty of imagination to understand that behind the development of every uh, tree, there are fundamental roots. There are few people who play the role as the seed, and due to their crucial role, we see so much enormous changes. So Dr. Bhatkar was such a personality. So in up to this lecture, up to this point, you can understand that the driving force behind invention of such great things in the field of supercomputers was that USA denied it to give supercomputers to India. It was an it ignited the internal motivation. Based on the Param series, we developed NPSF, that is National Param Supercomputing Facility, which has now been made available as a grid computing facility through the Garuda grid on the National Knowledge Network, providing nationwide access to high performance computer infrastructure. So dear students, what is the meaning of grid computing? Grid computing is nothing but a computer network where resources in every computer are shared with other computers. For example, India is a land of 130, where population is nearly 135 crores. And if I am sitting here in Salekasa and Bosnik sir is sitting there in Nagpur, we are able to chat, we are able to interact. Why these things are possible? These things are possible because there is a grid computing network. Because this kind of facility is available to us. Because of this facility, we are able to interconnect, we are able to share our resources, so much resources that are available with different talents and different resource persons of this nation are or in world also. This is possible because of this kind of network. Not only this, he also created several national institutions like CDAC, that is Center for Development of Advanced Computing, which is situated in Pune, ER&DC, that is Electronic Research and Development Center, Thiruvananthapuram, and I2IT, that is International Institute of Information Technology, Pune. These three institutes are regarded one of the few of the best institutes that India have. I still remember when I was in graduation, the students who were taking admission to CDAC were considered as the most talented students of our institution. I still remember those days. And because of CDAC, so much change has happened in the field of computers in the field of computing, in particularly India. The next is broadband ETH, that is education to home. Dear students, all of us are aware that today we are able to use 3G, 4G in some of the countries, 5G and 6G have also arrived. But still, broadband is such a connectivity which is connected with rural belt and other almost all part of the nation also. Because of this broadband connectivity, education to home is possible. Imagine a person who has a futuristic vision, who thinks that how a student who is living in a remote part like Salekasa would be able to get the knowledge of some esteemed, talented people of other parts of the nation. The very thought process that is going under this very thinking is really appreciable. So when you try to understand Dr. Vijay Bhatkar's contribution from this perspective, you definitely feel a great, you are greatly inspired, and you naturally acknowledge the contribution of such a personality. In 1947, when India got independence, it was one of the poorest nations in the world. Yes, every one of us are aware that in 1947, we were among the poorest countries in the world. And it was the challenge before the intelligentsia of those times to take forward India into very developed countries. In those times, transistor was just invented. And in 1960, Dr. Homi Bhabha said that electronics will play a crucial role in India's development. This is the second thing. This is the second motivational. This is the second inner drive behind the thought process of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar. In 1960, dear students, when Homi Bhabha prophesied that if India has to develop, then electronics will play a crucial role in India's development. A person of Vijay Bhatkar's intelligence, genius mind instantly captures and instantly had a creative vision, futuristic vision that what I need to do because I possess so much talent, because I have that capacity, I have that potential where we can march ahead. So that creative vision, that futuristic vision was lingering in the mind of such a genius personality. And this was also the inner drive that I, in the very early part of my lecture series, I have told you that this was the inner drive that motivated Dr. Bhatkar to create so many great things in the field of computers. In 1971, microprocessor was invented at Intel, and the computer revolution began with the advent of personal computers. You just imagine, just in 1971, all of us are, we today use computers. In just 1971, that means just 52 or 53 years back, microprocessor was invented. Because of this microprocessor, today we are using i3, i4, i5, i6, i7, and so many things, so many updates there are in the particularly in microprocessors. It's just in 1971 microprocessor was developed. Whenever we are trying to capture the development of any country or any particular part of a state, all these factors play a very crucial role. All these parts play very fundamental roles, and these very tiny developments are very useful. The success of IT industry that we today say, all of you must have been friends, and you must have read in newspaper or in some other fields also that India is regarded as superpower. Why? What is the basic reason? Just we got independence in 1947, and just in the span of 40 to 50 years, we are considered as a superpower in the field of IT. Why? What is the basic reason behind that? So, dear students, the basic reason behind that is the creation of world-class educational institutes like IITs, IIMs, IITs, that is Indian Institute of Technology. You know, there are many Indian Institute of Technologies, IIT institutions. In global ranking also, there are very few institutions which come in the global ranking. IITs are one of them. IIMs, Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. You must have been knowing, dear students, the kind of salary that people who are passing from these prestigious institutes get. We cannot even imagine the professors like associate professors like us. RECs, that is regional engineering colleges, which were renamed NITs, like RECs Nagpur, and there are so many regional engineering colleges in India. Today, when we look at the educational scenario of India, we at once realize that the craze of engineering has slowed down, and particularly the craze has increased in humanities and commerce sectors. But you just imagine the situation in 70s, 80s. There was so much craze in the field of engineering. Still, it is very much, but not up to that extent. In 1998, the IT task force recommended the creation of IITs through public and private partnerships. As all of you know, dear students, that Indian Institute of Technology is such an institute which is funded by the government. But there is an IT task force which is there in the nation, and this IT task force has suggested that we should develop some IITs through public as well as private partnership. So this was the thought behind creation of I2IT. That is that I already told you, International Institute of Information Technology. Hence, I2IT was launched in 2001, and just within 5 years, it emerged as one of the largest and perhaps the best IIT, offering multiple courses in IT and management. What are the which kind of courses that it was going to offer? In 2009, it offered different courses in engineering and technology, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and technologies that emerged from the convergence of nano, bio, info, technologies. Today is an era of nanotechnology. All of us know that Apple phones are considered one of the best phones, especially in the field of smartphones. You must have read that Apple has just now created its processor, which is built on 5nm technology. The lesser the nm, the faster the processor is. So Apple is credited with creating 5nm technology processors. So this is why this is possible, because of the nanotechnology. That means we are dealing in the very minute sections of those processes, where in very short chip we are able to adjust that entire structure because of this kind of technologies. And this technology is not only useful in the field of smartphones. There are so many other fields, dear students. If I continue to speak on, I can speak for an hour on this particular topic, but that is not our concern. Today, India is regarded as the 5th largest economy of the world and IT superpower. Although because of certain political turbulence and there are some ups and downs, this sentence, when this chapter was written, it was India was the 5th largest economy. But there are certain changes. If you are very updated with the economical situation of the India and world, then you will realize there are certain updates also. Dr. Bhatkar brought ICT to the masses through path-breaking initiatives. When we think what is the basic thing, what is the most valuable contribution of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, then dear students, this kind of question is also asked in your examination. The notes will be provided to you by honorable organizers of this online lecture series. And then there is one question which is also very much important from the examination point of view, that what is the major contribution of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar? So there are fundamentally 4 things. The first thing is the celebrated GIST multilingual technology. covering India's 22 official languages with 10 diverse scripts that has dissolved the language barriers on computers. So what is GIST multilingual technology? You must be thinking that I am a teacher of English language and I am using so many scientific things. One may think that this is a lecture of science, but as a student of language and literature, we have got that very balancing power. We have got some multi-dimensional faculty to find out those gaps, to realize those. So try to understand from the contribution point of view. As it is included in the syllabus, we have to understand it, we have to read it. So what I was telling you, that GIST multilingual. What is GIST multilingual technology? Let me explain you in a very simple, by giving a very simple example. All of you must have seen Amazon Prime videos, or particularly South Indian movie videos on YouTube, or particularly on Amazon Prime. You see, uh, you see, uh, at the lower portion of that movie, there are subtitles which are given, and you have got the choice to use the subtitles in multiple languages. You can read that subtitles in either in Hindi, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, and so many things. Why this is possible? It is possible because of this GIST multilingual technology. It covered 22 official languages. That means computers are not only related with, we cannot only make use of computers just only in English. We can make use of these computers in others official languages also. This is because of this GIST multilingual technologies. If you try to understand this point in depth, and go to any computer shop, then you will realize is that particularly in the field of animation, when you see Tom and Jerry kind of uh, serials, in those kind of things, this GIST multilingual technology is also very much used by their students. The second is MKCL computer literacy program that made a world mark by creating 7.5 million computer literates within a decade. So what is MKCL? MKCL is nothing but the Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation Limited. So dear students, all of you must have heard the name of MSCIT, and most of you might have passed this examination. This is conducted under the framework of MKCL. The contribution of this MKCL literacy program is so great that nearly 7.5 million computer literates. It produced 7.5 million computer literates. Imagine 7.5 million is a very, very big figure, big data in a country like India. It has done wonders in the field of creating computer literacy. If you Google this MKCL, you will find many things, but let me give you one or two examples. That is MKCL Digital University, MKCL Libraria. These are some of the works of MKCL. So this is why this is possible, because of the futuristic vision of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, that our children of India should be computer literate in every dimension. The gray material, the alma mater that is there available in our brains, should be utilized to its optimum level. The third is that I have already mentioned earlier, education to home initiatives for bringing the benefits of ICT to school education in learning, teaching, administration, governance, communication, and collaboration. So dear students, whenever you go to college, first of all, you go to, and whenever you go there to fill the examination form or scholarship forms, you go to that particular clerk of your college, and you see that clerk is using a certain software to fill your form. Also, there are many TC, like other things are also provided to you. Why all these things? These are very, these we see such kind of things in our day-to-day life. Why this is possible? We are not amazed by these usual activities. But if you imagine, you use your faculty of imagination, that why we are able to use all these things, then you would definitely acknowledge and appreciate the work of Dr. Bhatkar, that education to home initiative was because of him, for bringing the benefits of ICT to school education. In current education system, particularly if you go to CBSE and other institutions, the entire methodology or modus operandi of teaching has changed. There is tremendous use of ICT in the process of teaching, and similarly in other fields also, in administration or governance also. We can take example here also. This 14-day lecture series has been conducted where resource persons from different parts of Nagpur University are delivering their lecture, and the respected organizing committee is conducting this lecture. Why this is possible? This is possible because of this E2H. This is an update version of that E2H thing that was started by Dr. Bhatkar. Applying, next is, and the fourth fundamental thing, contribution is applying technology at the grassroots levels, such as for weather forecasting, disaster prediction, resource mapping for agriculture. Weather forecasting, this is a gift, literally a gift. We have saved the lives of lakhs of people from because of this weather forecasting. You must have seen on television that particularly on the coastal areas, the police force or the coastal police give direction to those people living on the banks of those coastal area to be aware if there is anything like tsunami or any natural calamity. This is because of that. Disaster prediction. Disaster, there is a separate chapter of disaster management. It is a very big chapter. So in disaster management, it is also possible to predict the disasters because of this technology. Resource mapping for agriculture. So resource mapping is a very, this resource mapping is, for example, it can be used in two terminologies. For example, resource mapping in institution. When you consider resource mapping in institution, you try to understand who is having the qualities, what qualities are possessed by that particular person in that institution. What are the resources? What are the human resources and other resources? But here, particularly for the agriculture field, what resources are available? This is possible because of ICT. In 80s, Dr. Bhatkar led the development of first fully solid state color TV. In 1982, I still remember when there was death of Indira Gandhi. I first saw that color television. It was because Dr. Bhatkar led the development. Color TV broadcast during Asiad in 1982. Before 1982, there was broadcast, but not in color TV. We are now aware. We today see on color. There are so many things happening on color TV. Distribution of control systems for Indian power plants and process industries. There are so many power plants that are working in our India. Imagine, we cannot use manpower to a great extent. We cannot use manpower for each and everything. It will be very, very time consuming. And man, we are the student of literature. We are the student of language, my dear students. We are not born to make both ends meet. We have the faculty of imagination. We have the faculty of intuition, and there are so many faculties that we need to use. And in process industries also, like food processing also, if you go to any such kind of industry and you go to that basic computer section where the all that person who handles all these things, you will realize that all these things are possible because of the ICTs. Traffic control system, it is a matter of our day-to-day life. We see red light, blue light in those traffic signals. Why this is possible? Because of ICT. Automation and security system, it is also possible because of ICT. Security and automation, this is a very great chapter, and I can deal, but I will not deal in very detail. And in defense also, there is a tremendous use of ICT. In as per requirement, CDAC trained 10,000 professionals to fulfill needs of IT industries. Dear students, you imagine in 47 we got independence, and in 70s or 80s there was a dearth of IT professionals. We were needing so many IT experts, and it was and Dr. Bhatkar shouldered the responsibility, this challenge, to provide trained software professionals. And CDAC is through that institution which was developed by him, CDAC, he trained 10,000 software professionals. In 1972, Dr. Bhatkar joined as the core member of IPAG Electronics Commission and contributed substantially to the shaping of India's path-breaking policies in electronics, automation and control, computer and software, ICT, education, science and technology, and e-governance over the successive 4 decades. So dear students, almost for 40 years, this man is working on the policies of India. How should be the face of India after 4 years, particularly in the field of electronics? Automation and control. What can be done in the field of automation and control? Computer and software. What is the condition of the entire world? Which kind of developments are happening in Japan, America, China? There are so many things. The world is changing so fast, particularly in IT sector, that after every 7 days, new technology appears. So one needs to be very, very updated. The very thought process, the very one has, we have to train our minds in that particular way. So he has worked in particular in that making of policy section. So it is a very great contribution in ICT, education, science and technology, and e-governance over the successive 44 decades. And because of this, such a great work, in 2000, Dr. Bhatkar was awarded Padma Shri by the government of India. And definitely very well deserved Padma Shri. He was awarded by government of India. And now we come to the last part of our lecture. In a recent interview, he said, to be truly competitive, please listen these words very carefully, then you will realize the very spirit of that man. As a student of language and literature, we have to understand that I have already told you in the beginning of my lecture that what is the spirit, what is the thought process, what are the fundamental things, what is the inner drive that is going behind the creation of such creative things in our day-to-day lives. In a recent interview, he said, to be truly competitive in global terms, India will need to develop multi-core chips, which will require new network, new software, and new applications. Technology is constantly updating everything. If we have to remain alive to the challenges, we have to remain firm, we have to face the challenges that are appearing at the global level. We need to develop multi-core chips. I specifically want to tell this word, multi-core chips. What is this multi-core chips? You imagine when the first computer was developed, it was almost of the size of a big room. And now we are using mobile phones. Why? Because of these chips. That so much structure, that so much network has been reduced to a single chips. because of such different kind of technologies. And if India need to remain competitive, it has to work on the development of those multi-core chips. That was his prediction, that was his suggestion. And because yesterday's supercomputers are today's laptops, same will be the case tomorrow. Dear students, you can think of the first mobile phone that you were using, the first time you used camera phone for your mobile phone for capturing the photo. And now when you are using your mobile phone for capturing photos, there is a tremendous change. 1 megapixel, 2 megapixel cameras were there. But now the picture clarity in mobile phone has tremendously increased. Even in Apple phones, there is a special feature where you can fix small films also. So many things are available. Why this is possible? Because of this multi-core chips, because of this 5nm technology. And this is a constant process where one has to continuously regenerate, re-update, rethink, and update our knowledge. And update is the basic mantra that he wants to say. And in the last, I would like to say that extraordinary talent in engineering and technology, creativity. What are the plus points in the, what are the major points in the personality of this such a great personality, Dr. Bhatkar? Extraordinary talent in engineering and technology. That is visible from his when he completed engineering at just the age of 18. You can realize that. Creativity. He was really a man of creative genius. Only a creative person can think like that. He was not a stereotype. He had a tremendous belief in the faculty of imagination. He had a zeal to transform. He took that challenge when USA denied that to give supercomputers to India. He has tremendous faith on his self qualities. And the last thing, and the most important thing, is the futuristic vision for the development of India. These were the major qualities of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar. So, dear students, here we are just come to the end of this lecture. But within 3 to 4 minutes, I would like to tell very important things regarding our lecture. Therefore, what do we understand or what to learn from this lesson? In the beginning of this lesson, I have told you that 3 fundamental things are very important whenever we are trying to understand the personality of any person. The first is thought process, second is motivation, and third is realizing understanding our own path of development. And when we try to understand the contribution of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar through this framework, we realize that, we understand that as a student, we have faith on the imagination, power of imagination, and belief in our own uniqueness. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. और अंत में मैं आपसे ये प्यारे विद्यार्थी कहना चाहता हूँ कि जब टीम को जरूरत होती है और जो खिलाड़ी खेलता है वही असली खिलाड़ी। जब देश को जरूरत थी और जिस व्यक्ति ने इतना महान कंट्रीब्यूशन किया, उस व्यक्ति की सराहना करना, उसके कार्यों की प्रशंसा करना हमारा परम कर्तव्य है। और ये जो क्रिएटिविटी की जो फील्ड है, सृजनशीलता का जो क्षेत्र है, बड़ा मिस्टीरियस, बड़ा रहस्यमय। कोई भी व्यक्ति कब किस प्रकार से नई चीज सृजन करेगा, कोई बता नहीं। तो अंत में मेरा आप सभी विद्यार्थियों को इतना ही कहना है कि आप अपने अंदर का जो क्रिएटिव जो इंटेलिजेंस है, किस फील्ड में कब क्या हो जाएगा कुछ बताते नहीं आता। सो हैव फेथ ऑन योरसेल्फ एंड विद दिस वर्ड्स I end my lecture. Thank you, sir. It is over to you, Vasant.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your wonderful session, which was full of information, and definitely this will benefit the student of BA fourth semester in particular and all the students in general. Now I request Dr. Vandana Bhavankude ma'am to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, Madam.
Yes, madam.
A warm and graceful morning, sir. Respected dignitaries present here today in this BA 4th classes 2021-22, based on the syllabus prescribed by Rashtrasant Tukdoji Maharaj Nagpur University, Nagpur, and jointly organized by the Departments of English of Barrister Sheshrao Wankhede Mahavidyalaya Mohpa, Dr. M.K. Umathe College, Nagpur, Nabira Mahavidyalaya Katol, and Jawaharlal Nehru Arts, Commerce and Science College, Wadi, Nagpur. Respected principals of all the 4 organizing colleges, Dr. Kolle sir, Dr. Naik sir, Chief Coordinator Dr. Jachak sir, and other coordinator. Sir, gratitude is the inward feeling of something we receive, and thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feeling. Thanksgiving is following of that impulse. It is indeed an honor for me, sir, to propose the formal vote of thanks to today's resource person, Dr. Parimal Dongre, sir, Head of the Department of English at M.B. Patel Arts and Commerce College, Salikasa. Dr. Dongre, sir, you threw light on each and every aspect of Vijay Bhatkar's personality in a very simple but very effective manner. Sir, your lecture session was a wonderful session. It was an erudite session. I am sure that students will be definitely benefited by this session. Thank you so much, sir. I, on behalf of all the 4 institutions and my own behalf, I like to express my sincere gratitude for accepting the invitation and very nicely enlightening our students. My heartfelt thanks to all the 4 coordinators of this jointly organized program, Dr. Jachak sir, Dr. Vaishali Meshram, Lina Fatime, other faculty members of various colleges. I owe special gratitude to the technical staff who played a major role in smoothly conducting this session and making it a memorable success. Sir, I also thank this online program. Once again, my special thanks to the Chief Coordinator, Dr. Jachak sir, for providing such a great opportunity to all of us. Now, with the consent of the organizers, I declare that this session is over. We will meet again tomorrow sharp at 10 a.m. with a new resource person, Madhuri Sridham sir. Madam, thank you. So once again, thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you, madam.